Hey gamers and web watchers, TK here for a new episode of NPC Library, where we don't just talk about the NPCs or the non-playable characters, but we also talk about who they relate to in the real world. If you've been on the internet lately, you might have seen that there is a New Testament coming to the Madman type video game series known as Borderlands. If you have a look into the past, we've had the Old Testament, then the Handsome Testament, and then the Testament that went on the moon. And now we are going into the Psycho Testament as we participate in Biblelands 3. I mean, Borderlands 3. Life is as intense as a Psycho or as a Goliath in the Borderlands franchise. And if you have a look at it, when you're an adult, you have to juggle so many things in order to not only make ends meet, but to be a high-functioning adult. Trust me, when you're autistic as well, you have to take in so much more. Now, when it comes down to it, we need to have a look at certain NPCs that we interact with in games like Borderlands in order to realize that our life they're okay. Now, in this series, and these three characters that I will cover, I will be talking a lot about stress, depression, anxiety, and abusive relationships. So if you're ever in a stressful moment in your life, if you're suffering from anxiety or depression, or if you are in a very hostile relationship, make sure that you seek professional help. I'll say that again, seek professional help. I cannot strive it enough.
Careful, sugar. That's strong stuff.
In the Borderlands series, we have a wide variety of characters that deal with their own different types of coping strategies to understand and to get through the hostile world that they live in Pandora. There are some who fall into their introverted selves, like Tannis. I'm sorry, even though she's autistic, she won't be covered in this series. Then you have others that will surround themselves by all the people that they really enjoy talking to, and they will try to communicate and talk with so many people just to get rid of all that negativity. And that's where Moxie comes into play. Now, in order to talk about Moxie, I have to say, being a person that is on the spectrum who's been advocating for over a decade, I have learned that there are so many different types of people in the world today, but Moxie-type characters seem to be everywhere. So how does Moxie relate to your characters? Moxie is the hostess of the Underdome, but as you all know, her primary career seems to be barkeep at various bars. Many people know her to be a marvelously attractive lady that flirts with you every time you drop by. But it's her love and care for her kids, Scooter, Ellie, and Carnage, that makes her more than just some sexy minx. In the first Borderlands story... Borderlands 1 has a story? In the first Borderlands story, we find out that she is a caring mother to Scooter, and that she was once married to the delightfully named Mr. Shank. Moxie is much more than fan service. She is brilliant, caring, is able to run several sustaining businesses, and is a cunning strategist. She has affected those around you, causing a bigger impact on the story you play. She builds and protects, and that is what makes her beautiful. Now, when it comes to Moxie-type people in my life, well, there's two stories that come to mind. Now, the first one, I want to mention their names, but unfortunately, I have to keep people private. So let's call them Zed and Marcus. I met Zed at my best friend's birthday party. Now, Zed was the sister of a friend who was the friend of my best friend. It's hard when you go things back to front. And she was just tagging along because she had known my best friend, Jenna. We were having some fun at this birthday party, having burgers in the heart of Sydney. There's a place called Oxford Street, and there were some fantastic eateries there. And when we took a trip to a lovely place called Shady Pines Saloon, that's where I really got to know this lovely Zed. We found out that we had so much in common, that she and I loved the same shows like Bob's Burgers and a variety of other programs. But Zed had just gotten out of a relationship, so she was a bit cautious. I, on the other hand, I was ready to throw caution to the wind like you would throw a TDR gun. We went on several really good dates. I mean, I set out lovely little picnics in Hyde Park, and I got us to watch Bob's Burgers on a laptop. But sadly, she didn't want to take the relationship any further, so she broke up with me over the phone. But she still wanted to remain friends. A month later, she wanted to go and date another guy, and I respect her decisions, but it was too heartbreaking for me. So I ended the friendship. It's been a long time since then. I'd like to pick up the friendship now, but I don't know how to bring back all that together. I've tried to contact her, but she doesn't want to speak to me. That's okay though.
But boy, did he feel the last one.
The second time was with Marcus. Not Marcus from Marcus Munitions, but just the name. Let's go with that. We met at a conference, and I was dumbfounded to realize how amazing this person was. She was a professional who went and worked in a variety of different fields. And so we started to form this really good bond. And we went on a few dates, and it was an amazing matter to just experience such a wonderful person. But I realized that the friendship was a lot more important than the relationship. Now I've got one of my best friends ever. That's fantastic to know. Relationships can be tricky situations. I mean, if you have a look at how many different relationships there are in the world, you can find yourself in quite a pickle of a jam if you end up dating the wrong person. And even though we might like the look of someone or how charismatic they may be, they might not be the right fit for us. So what can you do if you find a Moxie type character in the real world? You can find Moxies everywhere you go in our world. They can be in schools, workplaces, gyms, or the many other locations we see in the world today. These people are charismatic to the point where you can feel really attracted to them. What I have seen many autistic people and gamers do is focus on making that person their partner. You've heard of the friend zone, but not the girlfriend zone. Trust me, I have made this mistake plenty of times beforehand. The only way I have stopped putting people in that zone is by recognizing that the emotions that I am feeling are normal, but I should think about getting to know that person before I ask them out. Alright, let's bring it all back together and drive it on home like one of Scooter's vehicles. In life, we have a variety of relationships, but a lot of us seem to be focused on romantic relationships. The thing is, if we keep focusing on people who are looking fantastic and are highly charismatic, then these values will trump something that's really important. Matters like thoughtfulness, kindness, and respect. So when you come and look at who you're going to date, you gotta ask yourself, what do you respect most? What are your values? Now, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Ari Lachlan for the artboards for this game series. And I want you to check her out. I'll put her contact details and her website in the credits as well. If you have any questions about dating or finding someone to be friends with, please send me an email. You can find that also in the credits, or comment below. Thank you guys very much for a lovely week. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.
No new jobs. Shame. I love to watch you work.